Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Well, friends, welcome back. I can't believe it's been 10 days since we've been together, but it's true. So it's the Hy-Vee Today Show. We're live. It's Monday, the 30th of December, just after 8:30 in the morning if you're watching live. If you're watching this tonight on cable, it's insert time, right? I wish I could do that thing where you just could say it is currently, and then something could come over and just dub the time 7:42 p.m. But I don't know if we have that technology yet. One step at a time. But it's so good to be back with you. I hope you had a great Christmas. It's just wild. I mean, I felt like we were just here, but I know that that's not the case. We had a little bit of break in the show. There's been a lot that's happened in between the last show that we did, which would have been Friday, December 20th, and now. So I just kind of want to start with maybe a little bit of a recap of things that have happened, and then closer to 9 o'clock, we'll talk to Hy-Vee dietitian Kara Zigament, since tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and then January 1st. And if you're making any New Year's resolutions, she can kind of help you stick with those. We had an awesome event in this Market Grill Express with those two ladies right there. Lieutenant Greg Bach stayed outside in the red kettle. It is so weird, I got to tell you, walking into the store this morning, because I worked Christmas Eve, and I've been off. I was off Christmas Day, the 26th, 27th, and I didn't work Saturday or Sunday. So this is the first day that I've come to the store, and guess what's not there? The giant red kettle. It's very strange to me. I felt like it was going to be here forever. So that's Elsa and Anna from Frozen, and we had an awesome event with them here in the Market Grill Express that was so fun, and it was packed. So there's Elsa and Anna with Chef Scott. I don't know if he wanted. He was a good sport, Chef Scott. He didn't I don't want people to think I forced him to get his picture taken. He was here working the event. We had 176 reservations. I don't even know how that makes sense. But the thing that I'll say is, at no point were we ever so busy that it was we weren't overwhelmed. And those two ladies, and I don't know their real names, of course, but they are involved in theater in the Cedar Rapids area. So they came and they took pictures with kids, but then at one point they started singing to the songs of Frozen, and I am a giant. I see that now, standing next to Princess Anna. I am a whole person taller than her. They started singing to the songs from the movie. So I was we had the soundtrack playing in the speakers, and if you're a parent or grandparent, you've undoubtedly heard the Frozen soundtrack enough times in your life, and they started singing it, and I was mesmerized. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know they were going to do that. I was just paying them to show up and take pictures. My favorite part of that, and I'm going to share this with you because it was very funny. So the event was 9 to 11, and I was here by 8 and ready. And at 8, probably 8:40, I get a phone call. This is, I got to do the fake phone. So I was like, hey, this is Tony. Hi, Tony, this is Princess Anna. So she's in character, and she tells me, our GPS has brought us to a Hy-Vee Main Street. And I was like, oh no, Princess, get back in the car, or chariot, or horse, or whatever, Sven, however you arrived, your GPS has led you astray. So I imagine that they walked into that. The real names are Jack and Sam. Is that the note Steve's got? All right. Steve's New Year's resolution. Keep writing the notes, pal. Jack and Sam. So they imagine them getting out of their car and walking into Hy-Vee Main Street, and people were probably like, are you lost? What are you doing here? Why are you here, ladies? So they got here. It was awesome, and I really appreciate that. It was great to have everybody here. The kids, the kids that show up, they really make those events worth it, right? Because the look on some of their faces were just like some of the kids don't know what to say. And then they just warm up because they love that movie. So, okay. So that was a lot of fun. We talk about Lieutenant Greg Bach. The guy literally lived in that kettle from December 18th until 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve. So that is crazy that he lived in that kettle for that long. And I don't know what to tell you about this guy. I mean, the time that he spent in that kettle. So last year, 2018, just in the red kettle donations at the various locations like Hy-Vee and other places that I shall not name, they did about $54,000, and the total goal is $180,000. So this year, in the red kettles alone, I think it was like $98,000 or $99,000. So you talk about, was it worth it for that guy to sleep in the kettle? And by the way, he was in there. Lieutenant Bach, who is now, I believe, taking some time off with his family, much deserved, by the way. He would like me to tell you that he did sleep in the kettle, and for the people that came by at 2 a.m. and knocked on the kettle, he said one night somebody was shaking the kettle, and he kind of had to do like a, hey! So he was really in there, and it was absolutely unbelievable. So everybody that came out and saw him, look at that, $98,215. And so far, as of when they posted this, Post-its, I invented Post-its, they had $132,000. So that is crazy. And that was posted on Christmas. Is that what that says? 752 on Christmas. So they're still waiting on a couple more donations to come in. At one point, Lieutenant Bach told me that on Christmas Eve or the 23rd, I can't remember, he said some guy and his wife parked, got out, came up to the kettle and said, how you doing? And they basically said, like, we're going to try and get you to where you need to be. And they were going to make a sizable donation online. So I don't know who that super amazing couple was or were, but that's just great. So people came to see this guy. Santa and Mrs. Claus came to see him. Okay? And you know what they did? If you go back to that picture, they donated. Santa and Mrs. Claus donating. Santa not pocketing any money from the kettle. The exact opposite. Santa donating to the effort. One of the days that Lieutenant Bach was out there, that kettle right there, just that kettle alone near his big kettle, $3,400 in one day. So that is awesome. And of course, the goal ultimately is to not have to cut any services or have to worry about any programs being underfunded. And the Salvation Army, I mean, last year they had to reach into some emergency funds, so they don't want to have to do that this year. And what an effort by Lieutenant Bach. I'm so happy for him to do that and to sleep in the kettle. I mean, you think about it, and I told him this. I said there were a couple of nights at the house when I'm turning the heat down because it was too hot in my house, and this guy was braving the elements and sleeping outside. Unbelievable. At least and that's true. Steve says at least the weather, right, the weather could have been horrendous. I mean, how about the fact that it was 60 degrees on Christmas? I had my kids at the park during a moment when they weren't sick, because my kids have been sick for the last 10 days. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is dealing with this, but it seems like there's pneumonia and RSV and other things going around this town. So I would like to just get a bubble suit and do the show from a bubble suit that just sprays like, antibacterial, right? Like, yeah, a little hand sanitizer suit. That's what I would like to do, is just have like sleeves, like a big glove, and just wear that, because it's everywhere. And I haven't gotten anything, knock on this table, but as my luck goes, as soon as my house starts to feel better, my immune system's like, oh, you can get sick now. So I'm not wanting that to happen. Of course, nobody ever wants to get sick, but I mean, it's been rough, if I'm being totally honest with y'all. It hasn't been fun. Colleen says on Facebook, he was such a trooper to do that, especially with it being so cold. Yeah, Lieutenant Bach said that one night there was like a fog, like a frozen fog that showed up, and he said he woke up shivering. And I can laugh now because the guy survived it. And then one of my favorite text messages during that red kettle stay from Lieutenant Bach was when he said that the Hy-Vee logo on the building was starting to thaw out, and it was dripping on him in the kettle, like as if to add insult to injury. So I don't know if he does this again next year, if we need to get some type of like umbrella. I told him what I would do is get some type of like single person sleeper tent to just kind of pop up in there. Or maybe the folks at Hoffman that designed the kettle could create some type of dome that could pop up around it. Because I told him, I'm like, nobody would begrudge you if you had like a tent, but he was determined to sleep out in the elements, and listen, the guy did it. Sherry Siwasink, who is not here today, Sherry enjoying a day off, I think, says, thank you, Lieutenant Bach, you're awesome. And and our friend Jen Chapin says, lots of sickness, ready for that to be over in her house as well. Right. I guess, I got my flu shot and I wash my hands a lot. Some people would say that I wash my hands too much. Just give it to me, will you? because this is too good, this guy over here. I feel like I'm on Saturday Night Live. I got these cards. I opened the window and influenza. There you go. That's right there. This is what I'm dealing with. This is so, it's not funny, but it is funny because, thank God I've got my glasses on or I wouldn't be able to read anything. So these are the notes that Steve, his resolution is to maybe get a little bit bigger paper or I get better glasses. I did miss, please don't hold it further back. Listen, we had Dr. Walsh on with Vision Center. I should have had my eye exam while we were here. But yeah, some people try to tell me that I wash my hands too much, and I'm sitting over here again. I don't want to jinx it, but not sick yet. Knock on everything. So I don't know if it's got to help. I mean, Jen's a nurse, right? That's got to help, washing the hands. And yeah, but it's just, I feel bad. Like we had plans to go to Chicago and everything just kind of got shelved because my daughter had RSV, and you don't know this because we haven't done a show. My daughter had RSV, which is awful, and then she had influenza B on top of that. So I was like, what else can she have? And then you go to the hospital, and they're like, oh, yeah, well. And I'm like, well, give her something. What are you going to give her? And the guy's like, I can't give her anything. Just like you could give her Tamiflu. This is what they say. You can give her Tamiflu, and that might help for a day, but then it'll give her an upset stomach. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to make her worse. So by Christmas, mid-morning, the baby was like fine. She just kind of like snapped to it. She was great. No fevers, nothing. And then the boys started to get sick. So that's been my life. Sherry saying that she is on vacation. She's back Thursday. Wow. I wonder if she's somewhere exotic like Silvis or Jamaica. Sherry, did you go anywhere fun? I want to, Steve, do you mind? Do you want to see if they've got that bacon ready? Because today, I don't know if you know this, y'all, and we have this on the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and I better talk about it before we get a dietitian on the show. Today's National Bacon Day, and I was really excited to have a show on National Bacon Day. And listen, every day, as my coworker and dear friend Delmer Coolers said to me this morning, Tony, every day can be National Bacon Day if you try hard enough. And he's right, darn it. Who doesn't love bacon? You know what I did yesterday? I made bacon. And you know what I also did when I was making that bacon? I set the smoke detectors off in my house, which was not a good idea. But you got to bake the bacon in the oven, right? Can we all agree? No more of this frying pan. I also grilled out yesterday. It was so nice. I couldn't believe it. My wife was like, you're leaving me in the house with 2 sick kids to grill? And I was like, yeah, but I'm just on the deck. And I still had a little propane. Didn't know. And I still don't know, like, should I leave the propane tank out throughout the course of the winter? Can it freeze and explode? These are questions that I don't want to really know the answer to, so I'm just going to keep grilling until that tank runs out. But yes, some steak and some pork chops and some bippity-boppity bacon, because I am really, today is the first day that I'm getting back on the old diet. And I mean that. I know that I've kind of towed the water, but it is definitely a resolution of mine. So today you should definitely enjoy some bacon if you'll have it. But yeah, don't cook it on the pan. Don't do that. Like, why would you want to get a grease pop burn? Those are the worst things ever. Here's what you do. Baking sheet, some tin foil, wrap the sheet, right? Put your strips of bacon, about 400 degrees, and then I give them a turn once or twice, cooks it really quickly, and I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm certainly not a professional chef. My former neighbor and friend Jason says yum bacon. So, and I'm also not alone, okay? You know, when I had lost all that weight, part of the reason that I did it was because of bacon. Look at Steve, and I'm not talking about Kevin Bacon either. Here comes Steve with a plate of bacon. This is the all-American breakfast right here. The plate is really hot? What did they do? Oh my, the plate is, oh, it is really hot and nice. Thank you, Steve. You're marvelous. Look at that. This is the American dream right here. And again, I'm trying to get through this before my dietitian shows up. Not that Kara's anti-bacon, of course, but I'm telling you. And I asked Kendra, my coworker, Kendra Doffelt, thank you for doing this. I like a nice crispy bacon, right? Like, I want to be able to do that. You see that? Break it off. I don't like undercooked bacon. I can't do it. Some people love it. If you're watching live right now, you can try and convince me of undercooked bacon. And I'm just going to tell you this, and we're friends, most of us. You're crazy. You're wrong. This is the way it should be, right? Nice, crispy. Oh, I don't know what they got on here. If it's a little seasoning or what. It's just tremendous. So, National Bacon Day. I wasn't going to eat anything till noon because I also want to do the intermittent fasting again, which is another great way to lose weight. But I'll tell you what, I'm happy to take some bacon for the team on National Bacon Day, which is going on today. Cook it in the oven and don't burn yourself. Because listen, you've already got enough to worry about. The last thing you want is like a grease pop. Those are the worst. Especially if you're, and I'm not going to advocate cooking bacon shirtless, but I've done it. Okay. That's not an image. That's not something you want to think about right now. I get it. But you've maybe done it as well. You're cooking bacon shirtless and it's on the stovetop and you get the grease pop and it hits you right on the chest. It's a lose-lose situation. Stick it in the oven, flip it once, you're good to go. Then you do like the plate, and then you put like the paper towels on the plate, and you got to dab the grease because I don't want greasy bacon either. You can cook bacon on a Foreman grill. Really? Wow. You know what, Jason? I believe it. I don't have a George Foreman. I had one forever. I brought it to college with me. I think, as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, my freshman year dorm at Cosgrove Hall, room 526. How about that for a memory? I think I was told that I couldn't have the George Foreman, but I kept it because I was a rebel, see? But what are you going to burn something in a George Foreman? But everybody had one of those, right? They still make them? Because I'm all about, hey, listen, if there's an easy way to make bacon, I know you can also microwave it, but if that's what I need, if that's the excuse I need to get another George Foreman in my life, I'm happy to do so. Let me know. Or maybe, Jason, you just let me borrow your George Foreman grill, and then we have bacon parties. Look at those. Easy to clean up, right? The Foreman, little wet paper towel. I mean, he was kind of onto something, right? And there was like the deluxe. That's kind of like the deluxe one, right? I just had like the simple one, you know? And what is that thing with bacon on it, Chad, by the way? What is that thing? The bacon toaster. What a time to be alive. I don't know if I trust that at all. Where's the grease go? That's a whole thing. Bizarre bacon toaster. Why has it got to be called bizarre? All right. So, anyways, National Bacon Day, and we've got a ton of bacon in the store. We'll show you with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam in just a second. So the aisle cam, CBI, piece of bacon just flew out of my mouth. I apologize. CBI Bacon Trust aisle cam. We haven't done this show in 10 days. Give me a break. The aisle cam is showing you bacon, and then in the meat department, if you're the kind of person that's like, I love bacon, but it's got to be from a meat case, they've got it, and we'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so I want to mention a couple of things, and then we'll go for a little journey on the cart cam, and then we'll talk to Hy-Vee dietitian Kara Ziegman about some resolutions and how you can stick to them. We've got another day, today and tomorrow, 2 days, I guess, with this wine and spirits ad is what I'm getting at. So tomorrow is New Year's Eve, right? So if you're celebrating, do it responsibly. If you're going out on the town looking for something to do this New Year's Eve, stop by Wine and Spirits and pick up everything you need. Certainly, Kayleen will get you taken care of. Tomorrow is the 31st. Check out those savings. Get some champagne, right? Don't ask me to open a bottle of champagne. I'm not good at it. I'm okay with admitting that to you. I'm not good at opening champagne, but I've gotten better. I feel like you do the little towel, and then you get the cork, and boom, and then it just doesn't. Because I've been known to open champagne bottles and have the cork, shoot across a room, and that's not, turns out, the best thing to do. I did that at the country club one time at the domestic violence shelter fundraiser. The cork went flying and almost hit somebody. So I really don't trust myself doing it, and I'm okay with admitting that. But if you need anything for your New Year's celebration, I hope that you'll stop by and check it out. Jen says, allegedly, coming back to the bacon discussion, I'm telling you, we could just rename this show Bacon Today with Tony Tone, and people would watch it, I think. Jen says, allegedly, bacon can be cooked in an air fryer. She says, I haven't tried it yet. And then Adam says it's snowing outside. Is it snowing right now? It is snowing, isn't it? Look at that. A little bit. I can I can see it. All right, so as we're sitting here, it's, what is it? It's 8:52 in the morning, a little bit of snow. So, hey, and again, listen, it's December 30th in Iowa. I just hope that this mild month of December that we're going to get through with having doesn't mean that we'll have another terrible January and February, because if you remember correctly, last year we had a day when it was 50 degrees below zero. I don't want to see that again. But we don't know what to expect. All right, so I showed you the wine and spirits deals. As far as the hot deals that are on the front page of the Hy-Vee ad, these expire tomorrow, so just check that out. And again, it is talking about Happy New Year, everything you need for a party on there, right? Little Smokies, some frozen pizzas, chips, 2 liters of pop. Definitely bought some of the avocados, 3 for $1. Make some guacamole, or maybe just do like avocado on a burger or something, whatever the case may be. And then my favorite, right? Little Driscoll, those blueberries? Yeah, Driscoll blueberries. Those are fantastic. You know, when I went like super hardcore on the diet, the only thing sweet I allowed myself for the longest time were Driscoll blueberries and like a shot of Ready Whip. So these deals on the front page of the ad are good through tomorrow. All right, Steve, if you feel like you're ready, we can definitely hit the road with the Toyota Muscatine Cart Cam, and then we'll get ready to talk to Hy-Vee dietitian Kara Ziggerman closer to 9 o'clock. December 30th, National Bacon Day. You should absolutely have some bacon. If you don't think, you shouldn't think for a second that I'm not going to enjoy the rest of this plate of bacon. We're going to put it on Steve's tab. Don't tell Steve that. Oh, he's right there. We're going to put it on Steve's tab. He's going to be okay with that. And you should have some bacon. It's also National Falling Needles Day. This is weird. Falling Needles Family Fest Day. And I didn't know what that meant, so I read into it, and it basically says that today is the day you should really start to clean up the Christmas stuff. And if you have that natural or real Christmas tree in your house, today's the day when the needles will probably really start to fall off of it. So we have the fake tree, 2 of them, much to my chagrin, because growing up, we were the family that would go and cut down a real tree and had some great memories doing that. But then, yeah, that's certainly something you deal with. Even if you're on top of the watering of the real tree, you're going to have, inevitably, you're going to have the needles all over the place. So the thing that I had found would be to just take like a garbage bag. And now I think they even have bags that you can put over the real tree, unhook the base, and then take it outside in one fell swoop, right? So then you don't have to worry about getting needles all over the place. So that's something, all the Christmas stuff in my house is done and put away back to where it needs to go. But maybe this is the day when you do it, since it is that Falling Needles Family Fest Day. Let's see here. Mayor Diana Broderson says, welcome back, Hy-Vee today. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mayor. Tara says it's amazing. She's talking about bacon. I'm telling you, we could have Jim Gaffigan on the show, my old buddy Jim Gaffigan, and we could just talk about bippity-boppity bacon. Tara says, talking about bacon in an air fryer, it's amazing in the air fryer. We wrap asparagus with bacon and throw it in. Oh, my gosh. So you're saying the asparagus wrapped in bacon into the air fryer? I don't have an air fryer, but I did yesterday, like I said, at my house. I baked bacon, then I grilled outside, and then I did do a pan of asparagus with a little extra virgin olive oil and some salt and pepper. But I didn't even think about that. Tara, you're a genius. And then Jen says that she's posting a keto meal prep video tomorrow if I need some diet ideas. Right. Of course, on YouTube, our friend Jen Chapin, huge following. I don't know if she's closing in on like 80,000 subscribers, but definitely check her out right here in Muscatine, just crushing it with the content going out there on YouTube. All right, so we're going to get the Toyota Muscatine Cart Cam up and running here. Steve's going to head out towards the meat department, just looking for bacon in the meat department case. Because it's National Bacon Day, giving you options on where you can find bacon throughout your Muscatine Hy-Vee store. So you can find it where the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam is set up, near the dairy department, and then out of the meat case, certainly the bulk bacon. If that's what you want to do, feel free. And I know that I typically don't like talking with food in my mouth, but again, I'm only doing it because it's glorious bacon. You understand. I mean, I'm telling you, smell-o-vision needs to be in the future, because this plate right here just smells marvelous. So let's peek at the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and then we'll see if we can't locate Steve in the Toyota Muscatine Cart Cam, and then we're going to talk to Hy-Vee dietitian Kara Ziggerman in just about 3 minutes. So there you go, that camera set up near the dairy department, where they've got look at just the variety of bacon in that shot, right? Like, there's stuff that's already ready to go. I mean, there's thick cut, there's different flavors. And again, back in the day, it seemed like there were just there was just one type of bacon for the longest time. When I was growing up, we had red apples, we had green apples, and we had bacon. Certainly didn't have any like maple or different glorious flavors of bacon. It's just the best. Do we have Steve with the cart cam? Not yet. He's got to come back. All right. Having a little connectivity issues, but that's okay. So, and then while we're waiting for Kara, I'll mention this. We've got these food court deals. So if you're looking for lunch or dinner options, this ad ran on the back page of the Discover Muscatine last week, and it'll be there again this week. So look for that in your mailbox tomorrow, and then flip it over, and here's what you're going to see. So these are good throughout the month of January. Starting now, by the way, I know it's December 30th. If you see this ad or if you saw it last week, come in and enjoy these deals. So if we look at Monday, right? So we're here on Monday, $3.99. You can get a trip down the soup and salad bar, which is awesome. How about buy one lunch, get one free from the Market Grill Express? So that would include everything that's on the Market Grill Express menu. That's awesome. $4 for a 9-inch sub made to order at the sandwich shop. And then $3.99 hot turkey sandwich. Maybe you haven't had enough turkey in your life this holiday season. You're thinking, well, I need to get some more. You can check that out. So every day of the week, different deals. A lot of people come to Hy-Vee on a lunch break, and maybe this is a good time to check out some of these deals that you see. How about 66-cent egg rolls? What? 50-cent boneless wings Wednesday? No, that's Thursday. Excuse me. Thursday with the boneless wings. Yeah, I love it. Fridays, 50-cent drafts all night. What? So, awesome deals right there. Hope that you'll consider popping in and you'll check those out. We've also got a fuel saver coming up on New Year's Day, January 1st. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So, we're here today and tomorrow with the show, and then we'll be back in full swing starting Monday, January 6th. I'm peeking and looking at the 7-day forecast they've got up on Channel 6. And it seems like, not really a bunch of snow in our forecast. That being said, as we're sitting here, it is snowing a little bit. But in the meanwhile, as far as January, doesn't seem like there's any significant snowfalls coming soon. So I'm okay with that. What is it right now? It's 29 degrees. Yeah. Not too shabby. I mean, I never would have thought that it would be 60 degrees on Christmas. That was absolutely wild. I hope that you were able to get out and enjoy that. Wednesday's high, 43 degrees. Like it. Yeah. Is it going to stick around for now? Maybe. But just don't be, I just don't want you to be surprised. Like, we've really had it easy. And I know that January, it'll probably get cold at least. And then I just would rather get rid of the snow and cold and ice January, February, and then really start to have a spring. Because if anything, we've really not had a spring, right? We've kind of gone from like winter to summer, from like snow to flooding. So maybe we can get a little bit of a spring. That wouldn't be the worst thing. So yeah, just keep in mind that if you need anything weather related, like salt for the driveway or even shovels or snow brushes, we can get you taken care of. That is for sure. All right, so we're going to see if the Toyota Muscatine cart cam can get fired up in just a second. And we're going to talk to Hy-Vee dietitian Kara Zigament in just a moment as well. It's good to be back with you. I do hope you had a good holiday. Now, kids are on another week off, right? Much to my wife's chagrin. She'd love for them to go back to school. I still think, maybe we reduce the winter break to just a week for the sake of parents everywhere that are wanting to get away. Not a bad idea, in my opinion. So school off again through January 6th. So another week home for the kids. Kara, if you want to come over, feel free. We'll get you hooked up here, and we'll talk about some New Year's resolutions because this is the time of year that we're heading into. So we'll have, if we've got Steve Areno with that Toyota Muscatine car cam, we'll send him off to the races. And we'll get Kara hooked up. Hey, look at that. You brought some good stuff. I have a plate of bacon because it's National Bacon Day, and Kara's got a whole bunch of good stuff. That's good. All right, so here goes Steve with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam, heading towards the meat department, looking for some bacon out of the case since today is National Bacon Day. It's so weird to see all the Christmas decorations gone, just like that. But just like at my house, and I don't know if everybody else has done this already, but we've got everything packed away. It's done. Is Kara mic'd for sound, Chad? Have you guys done any of the putting away of the Christmas stuff?
Not yet. We
Not
like
yet,
to leave
okay.
it up through New Year's Day.
So December 30th, through New Year's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real tree or fake tree?
Oh, it's a fake tree.
Same here. But today is this, it's crazy. It's this National Falling Needles Family Fest Day.
Oh, yeah.
Which basically means like clean up after Christmas. Because if you have that real tree, yeah, the needles get everywhere. And I never thought I would be the person that has the fake tree, but it is so easy,
yes.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
you just take it apart, stick it in a box, and it's good to go.
Right.
I still don't love it because I do like the smell of a natural tree.
I do too.
But those needles do get everywhere. All right, so real quick, looking at the meat case with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam, I know that they've probably got bulk bacon in there. Steve, if you want to back up maybe. I wasn't even really looking to see, but it's probably near all the rest of the pork stuff in that case. Celebrate National Bacon Day. I want to see, Kara, in your opinion, professional opinion, where do you find yourself with respects to bacon? Is it okay? Is it a thing in moderation? What's your take on bacon and diets?
Bacon and
New
diets.
Year's resolution. Now, maybe the New Year's resolution isn't to eat more bacon.
Right.
There's some bulk bacon right there. But what do you think?
Yeah, a little bacon here and there.
Okay. But maybe not overdoing it, right?
Yeah.
And you're proud of me because there were about 5 pieces
See,
of bacon on
portion
this plate,
control,
and
Tony.
there's about 3 left. All right, so if you need bulk bacon, you can get it from the meat case. And since we've got you and we've got that Toyota Muscatine cart cam, right? I mean, I think sometimes people, when they talk about diets, they think they can't have any red meats, right?
Right.
Is that what they tend to go to? It's like, I just can only do chicken, but I think, again, it depends on what you're going to do with whatever you're going to buy, right?
And there's a lot of, lean red meat that you can take part in, and it's a great source of iron. So, I think it has a place in everybody's diet. You just have
source
to watch.
of iron.
Red meat, yeah.
Okay. So for everybody out there, because again, Chad showed a picture. I was grilling yesterday, pork chops and some New York strips. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting my iron, everybody.
Right.
Well, that's good to know. All right. So this is, and you brought this is great.
Right. The new Seasons.
I'm so glad that you brought this. So the brand new Seasons magazine that's available here at the store, totally free, and it just looks great. Eating fresh, right on the cover, and just there it is on the screen. Look at that. So just some of our friends, and it seems like, Kara, if it's green, it's usually good for you, right?
Right, yeah.
So just in this shot alone, we can see what? Some lime, some
peas,
green beans,
some
broccoli.
kiwi, right.
Yeah. And it can really be just as easy, and we've talked about this over the years with you, maybe it's just incorporating more greens into your plate already, right?
Right, exactly. Just add a little color here and there. And also, I should have flipped open, there's a, maybe you can find it.
There's, look at that. Okay.
Well, but there's Eat Fresh, and there's some information on some fresh fruit and fresh produce. But also, I had been flipping through here, and hopefully I didn't lose my page, but I thought it was a great article.
Look at that. They've got keto in there, too.
Oh, awesome.
How about that? And so that's something that I definitely worked for me, and today is the day. Resetting the clock to 0 if you'll have it. So, and look at this. There's a whole thing in the Seasons magazine, Kara. I was ahead of the curve on this thing, right?
Yeah.
I should have got rich off of this keto diet. And now look, there's like a giant spread with butter and everything. But it is incredible that, people are, it seems like, yes, this time of year this happens, but certainly folks that are just wanting to try. I think that's what I always get excited is like whether you can stick to something or make it a lifestyle, but at least try, right?
Right. And here on page 72, Tony, I thought this was interesting, the best version of yourself in 2020. Okay. But, it just doesn't have to focus on eating healthy or going, it's not even focused on going on a diet. It's 20 different things. Maybe it's just getting rid of some clutter, remembering to take your multivitamin, just get moving. There's just some great things. I mean,
this is fantastic.
Pack your lunch to save some calories and save some money.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just some interesting 20 tips, and you don't have to do them all. I mean, maybe just pick a couple to start with, but it's not just about, everybody might feel overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, I have to do this, this, and this, and it's the new year and new me, and I have to change overnight. But just some, I mean, even getting a better night's sleep, you know, consistent sleep.
Amen, sister.
Reducing some stress, having a little me time. I mean, it's all hard to fit in, but just, I mean, I'm one to speak. I mean, trying to fit in everything and
it's
everybody's hectic
balance.
lifestyle. Right.
I feel like, you know, one of the things I was talking about at the start of the show, Kara, was just that everybody's like sick, it seems like. There's just different things going around and impacting people. And, you know, we're trying to do everything, right? You're trying to get through the holidays and clean stuff up, and people are still doing Christmases. And then, by the way, here's New Year's.
Right.
So maybe you've got plans to do something on New Year's Eve. Folks are on vacation, whatever.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, but, and this is one of those times, and I guess what I'm heading towards is like in the mail today, because we don't sell them here, I've got earbuds, wireless Bluetooth earbuds, because my son, my oldest son, Henry, loves going to the Y, and he loves running. Now, this body doesn't run too much. I can do good on an elliptical or a treadmill, and we have a treadmill in my house now, but he loves going to the Y, so I thought, okay, if I'm serious about getting back on a better diet, which I am, and then I can continue to take him to the Y, why wouldn't I just pop in the earbuds, not to ignore him, but just to give myself motivation to be active.
Get moving, right.
Because he'll lap me on the track 100 times. That's his thing.
Well,
he feels like he got to race everybody,
well,
and I'm like, all right,
hey,
nobody's racing you,
Dad.
pal. But it is just nice to know that this, you know, this resource, this season's magazine is a great resource. So many people love taking it home, and it's free, by the way. And again, so many great ideas in there. And of course, you know, one of the things in the store that's definitely healthy, all the seafood that we've got back there. Look at that plate
the fresh
right
seafood,
there. Look how good that
Captain
looks.
John will tell you what to do, how to prepare it if you don't know.
Absolutely fantastic. You have the 5-day fruit and veggie bands. I feel like I've heard of this, but I don't even know if I've seen these. So can you talk about that?
So this is Healthy Choice Counts, and it's through the Iowa Healthy Estate Initiative.
Okay.
And I'll put some out again, but here in the produce department in Hy-Vee, there's a basket, which I love, for kids for a free piece of fruit. And I have to replenish my supply, but next to it I usually put up some of these 5-a-day fruit and veggie bands. So kids are welcome to pick up, and they're bands. And what you do, you put them on your left hand, and as you eat a serving of fruits and vegetables throughout the day, you move it to your right hand. And
that's genius.
The challenge is to get your 5 servings in a day.
Wow. So that's still recommended, 5 servings, fruits and vegetables, every single day.
Right, yes.
Wow.
Right.
So it starts on the left, and then as you have one, move it over to the right, so that you know by the end of the day, hey, I'm good to go.
Correct, yes. Or vice versa, whatever, just one hand to the other. And then it also reminds us on here, when you look at the 5210, 2 hours of screen time, limit it, 1 hour activity, and like 0 sugar, you know, sugary drinks, you know, encouraging
0
water.
sugary drinks.
I think so, yeah,
say,
see?
Yeah, and that's, you know, for me, again, I speak about my personal experience. Like I'm not proud that I've been drinking more diet pop, because I know that aspartame
I need to get
is
back
bad.
on my water.
Right, same here. So what I did today, because I've got the fridge in the garage with some diet pop, I opted for the Hy-Vee water that was in there.
I love the Hy-Vee
But I
water.
made that conscious choice, right? Like I packed the lunch from what I made yesterday, asparagus, pork, and then I could have just as easily grabbed the diet pop beverage, and I don't want to say which one because they're not paying for the mention, but I grabbed the water instead, because I thought, if I'm really going to commit to trying to do better diet-wise, then it's got to start today. Right? And again, I don't feel bad about bacon, because bacon was my friend.
Bacon was your friend,
it is a good part of the keto diet, and I'm not saying that I'm going full bore back onto that, but certainly for me it is about cutting the sugar. And that's where I think when people can come to a place like Hy-Vee and talk to yourself, and I encourage you to do that. Like if you're wanting to know just healthier options or get a tour of the store, Kara can do that for
There's
you.
new things every day.
And there is, and I mentioned, you know, that we've got these hot deals that expire tomorrow, and one of my favorites are blueberries.
Oh, I love blueberries.
But people would be surprised sometimes if they are going low sugar, low carb. Not all fruits and vegetables are low sugar, low carb. Some of them might have more carbs than they realize, right?
Right. Although I always tell people it's fruits and
a
vegetables
healthy
are the
carb.
best choices.
Right.
But yeah, exactly. And I mean, berries, they have a lot of fiber in them and antioxidants,
Sure.
so it's a great choice. But yeah, and with that water and pop, you know, a lot of us can't go cold turkey, so
Right.
you know, for every pop you drink that much water or twice
Sure.
as much water or something like that. Challenge yourself. But yeah, it is hard in the
You have a
morning,
water
especially if you need a
challenge
little
now?
caffeine.
Well, I was gonna say I opted to not grab the Starbucks drink
Right.
because I thought I had put a bottle of water in the lunch bag and then took a bottle of water with me. So I felt like, okay, and then you know how hard it is to walk
Right.
past Starbucks, though. You
I know.
understand?
And
Usually they're
right.
like tempting me. Like,
Even
"Come
sliced,
on
you know,
over."
in your water, sliced, you know, cucumbers or mint or strawberries or lemons, limes. I mean, you can.
So that's not just a fad. That like infused water.
Well,
that's
I don't-
okay.
I
You think it
think
has
that's
benefits?
good.
I mean, it kind of would be basically taking like the front page of the season.
right, and kind of
And-
yeah.
Okay.
It's just a refreshing. I mean, if you let it infuse, it gets a flavor, and it's
Yeah.
not just people get bored of water.
I know they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about how many different options of water there are.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
Like we've got.
Just takes a little time, but you know, if you made a
Sure.
pitcher of some infused water, and you know, at the start of the day, and that's what you drank or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like a sangria without the booze.
Right,
basically.
exactly.
It's the same thing. And then the Hy-Vee Kids Club, the Kids
yeah,
Fit Club.
so
This is super cool.
HyVeeKidsFit.com.
Yeah.
So that's great. Actually, you can get on there, and it's a lot of great resources, not only for kids but for the whole family to
Yeah,
get
it's
moving.
awesome.
Healthy recipes, different ideas of how to get fit and fun as a family. It's free. You just sign up. There's some challenges, so you can do it as a family.
Yeah, and there's an app too.
Right, there's an
a
app on the
free
phone,
app,
right?
So you can put the
and
the
it's
app on your
great, you
phone
know,
or
some of the
tablet.
activities or exercises, if you're not sure how to do,
Sure.
there's videos on correct form and that. So that is a great resource as well. I mean, there's so many options, and it's just something the whole family can get moving,
Sure.
not only the kids. So,
So for the person out there that is at a point, and I weighed myself today, and I was like, oh yeah, this is happening. And that for me, like,
and so
there's
that's good for you,
That's
right?
good for me, and I know that some people avoid the scale,
Right.
but it really it can be kind of a rude awakening, and I'm the kind of person that needs that sometimes to really like, because that'll help me stick with it.
Right.
Knowing that every day, so I'll weigh myself every day this week and moving forward. But for somebody that's out there that is busy, I mean, what do you think? Is it adjusting diet, portion sizes, or is it looking at activity levels and maybe there's a vitamin or a probiotic that's out there? Or is it a combination of everything? I guess for the person that's like, I don't have time to go work out, you know, I work and I take all it.
Right, yeah,
maybe
exactly.
it is more of a dietary
And I think
shift.
it's just, I mean, you have to have increased activity and watch your diet.
Sure.
So, I mean, when we talk about increasing activity, if you don't have time to go to the Y, park farther away, you know, the standards use the stairs. Even if you're at home watching TV, you can do things while you're watching TV. Stand instead of sit while you're talking on the phone. Don't, you know, now I used to say don't use the remote, but you really have to use the remote for the TVs today, so it doesn't work. You know, just incorporating, you know, whether you need to clean up something, just incorporating a little bit more movement into your day. Yeah, for me lately I haven't had time either, so I kind of try
It's
to
so
like
tough.
walk, you know, get up, and if you have a desk job, kind of get up and go see that coworker if you need
Sure.
to talk to him, or take a 5 or 10 minute walk outside in the parking lot if you can, or just,
Yeah, if you get a
know,
break at work, what are you
Right.
doing with that time?
Right.
Can you?
Right.
And I again,
or
I'm,
if you're talking later on the cell phone at night, instead of sitting down and doing it, you know, walk around and do it.
pace your house, wake up
right,
your family
exactly,
members. That's how. No, but seriously, I mean, it's all
Right.
those little things, and
And they do add up. I mean, if
Oh,
you
yeah, especially if you have a
would
Fitbit.
sit during that, right?
Sure.
And that's another
Yeah.
option. I mean, there's so many things, and also with eating, you know, try to start, you know, plan your breakfast and lunch so you don't
Right.
have to go out. You know, plan
That's a
some
good point.
things. You know, fruits and vegetables. We have lots of easy shortcuts
Oh, those
here,
things are
or
so
even
cool.
just whatever's convenient.
Yeah, it's just like the easiest stuff ever. I posted this morning on the store Facebook page. It's from the Hy-Vee app, and it's just a great link to some healthy meals, right?
Right,
and
and
that
even-
can sometimes be, and maybe, it seems like people now more than ever are inclined to try different recipes and watch some of those, you know, HSTV videos. Our friend Jen that's watching has this unbelievable YouTube following. She said she's doing some keto prep videos. So whatever it is, and this is the link right there.
Right, and there's some awesome, and I think the big thing is planning. So, and that can be overwhelming, but even if you had a half an hour or an hour on the weekend or something, just plan a few things, or make a little extra if you're making a healthy meal and take it to lunch the next day, because you really can save some money too. But just the accountability. So your scale's the accountability.
It is.
I know we hate to write down what we eat or track what we eat, but really if you write down and kind of just take inventory of what you eat, there might be ways you can cut out just some extra calories that it's just kind of mindless eating.
Yeah, I've never been, and I love the technology, and I know that there's apps and people can track what they do. And I'm like the exact opposite. Like I don't. And maybe that's something I should try, right? Like,
and some people, you know, don't want to have to enter all that in. But even if you just write down what you eat, even to get an idea how much you're eating.
An entire pound of cheese curds, my heavens! Like,
you know, smaller.
How's with that accountability?
You know,
you go to a half pound of cheese curds.
And it does come down a lot to portion and servings, and even eating off smaller plates. But I think the big thing. Too, is that not try to change everything. And I hear people say, oh, I'm never going to eat this again, or I can't eat that, or, oh, you know. But it's all about moderation and balance. But if there are foods that, you know, trigger you, then maybe stay away from those.
Oh, I'm triggered by sugar. I'm not the only one.
Right, And after the holidays, we've eaten all that food, so we kind of have to, like, kind of readjust our palates. Detox, right.
Reset. Because I could snap my fingers and never eat a potato chip again, right? Or a French fry. I'm definitely more the sweet tooth than savory.
So you know what.
And I know that that's sugar, and I've said this for a while now.
The more you eat, the more you want?
Ooh, it is a drug. People say sugar is a drug. It is true. I feel it. It's just like, you should have 12 more of those cookies. And I'm like, who said that? I didn't say that. And it's just that feeling I get. And I know that, like, the next couple of days for me, I'm going to detox on the sugar. That's what I'm going to do, because it'll help me, and I'll get that clarity that'll come in about a day or day and a half, and I'll be fine. And I know how to avoid things that have it. Like, I know that a plate of bacon is not the best meal, but guess what's not in there?
Sugar.
Not sugar in there, right?
And I think that water too, like you switching back to water, will help do that. And just gradually, I mean, kind of where you have the holiday schedule, and then your kind of regular routine, getting back into that.
And that's a good
the
point.
normalcy of it.
Yeah, and like what you're kind of alluding to is it's okay if you're going to allow yourself that cheat day. I think we would both just caution, like, don't make the cheat day like, I'm going to just go park myself at this buffet and go to town. Like, I've been good all week. I better have 12 pancakes. I'm saying that like to myself, because I don't want to get to that point either where it's like you can undo all of this good work. And that's, how long do they say a change take? What is it, like 90 days before it becomes? I don't know.
Somebody said like 20 or 30, but I think it takes a little longer.
I think it takes way longer to make things stick. And the last thing we should mention, we're going to have a little bit of a weight loss challenge.
All right.
And I'm not going to be in this, by the way, because I know I would win.
Now you put the challenge on there.
Well, you know, I can. I work here. But we're going to have one of those here at the store. And I think people are looking for, yes, it's that time of year. Yes, places like the Y and different gyms will have, you know, big crowds there. And my thing is, like, if you're the person that goes to the Y or another gym all the time, don't be the person that gets annoyed by somebody that's trying. You know what I mean? Like,
I know it's hard though. Everybody,
But there's so many people that are like, oh, it wasn't this busy a week ago. And it's like, yeah, well, listen, give somebody the benefit of the doubt, will you?
Right.
Like, maybe this is the time that they're really going to stick to it, and you'll see them there more than a month. So, but yeah, I mean, it is a great time to talk about this. And if anything, this unseasonable weather that we're having.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Good excuse to get outside.
Right.
Because as I was grilling yesterday, I was also like organizing the garage, and it's a lot easier to be outside.
Organizing the garage. See, you were moving there and getting work done too.
I had the Fitbit on. I love it. I have 3 nice watches.
I love that
for years.
I know, but it's kind of nice. It reminds you. Like,
oh, the reminder's weird sometimes.
I know.
The Fitbit.
Like if you're traveling in the car and you're like, time to stand.
The Fitbit's like, hey, Husky, you haven't moved recently. And I'm like, all right, Fitbit, I'm going to turn you off. You don't need to be calling me Husky.
And
it doesn't.
I think one of the biggest things, though, I think, you know, sometimes we get overwhelmed, especially New Year and all these resolutions. And I find that, you know, the more resolutions you make, the fewer you keep. So I think, you know, make a few small changes, 1 or 2, and incorporate that into your lifestyle. And then once you're good with that, just a few more, but not so many. You know, even if your resolution is to just add a vegetable to dinner.
Sure.
That you didn't do, and start with that. I mean, I know it's a small change.
It's brilliant,
but, you know, it's just something that you can do.
Don't overload yourself with 10 pages of resolutions.
Right.
Keep it simple.
And for somebody, their resolution might be to get 8 hours of sleep, and then they can move on to something else, or consistently go to bed, or turn off the screen. All right, I know.
That?
Well, you know, turn off the screen time before and kind of
Well, that's
like...
the tough thing, right? So my kids are sick. Somebody woke up at 3, and I get I think it was Ted, my 5-year-old. I need a drink. I'm like, okay, that's a rude awakening when he yells, I need a drink. So then I get him situated, and then what do? Well, I should check my phone to make sure nothing's going on in the world. And then it's 30 minutes later, and I'm like, it's now 3:45. What am I doing? And then in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I'll just stay awake.
Right.
But I
then
put the phone down. I put it down because I'm like, I could sleep for 2 more hours.
Right.
And 2 more hours of sleep versus 2 hours of mindless scrolling.
And sometimes it's not always a good thing to have the phone right by the bedside,
it's
right?
It's not. If I agree. I mean,
I'm not saying I don't either, but
listen, I would love nothing more than to get like that old school plug-in alarm clock radio that could, you know, wake me up to Dwyer Michaels or whatever to get me out of bed. But yeah, you're right. And it's in this season's magazine.
Yeah, just so sleep and everything.
Here's what I would say: if you're out there and you have questions, start with a conversation with somebody like Kara. Grab one of these magazines; they're totally free, and there's so many good pieces of info in here, like foods that help you lose weight. Look at that.
Right, some of the healthy fats there.
Boom.
And
that is
eggs
perfect.
and whole grains.
Look at that. That's like everything you need to know right there.
Right.
So whether you get your info from this, you combine it with talking to Kara, getting a store tour, getting more active. And I wrote about this in my Talk of the Town column in this week's Discover Muscatine, which will hit tomorrow. I talk about resolutions, right? I mean, it's that time of year, and one of my resolutions is to be more present when I'm at home. And I connect in this column how the weight that I've gained back makes it harder to be more active. You know what I mean?
Right,
it all comes full circle. So if you're adjusting your diet and you're being more active, you're more inclined to feel better overall. Because what I've been running into is, and we've gotten through the holidays in this store, and you're taking, you know, anywhere from 10 to 16,000 steps, and then I get home and all I want to do is just sit.
Right.
My feet are killing me. It's been a long day, and that's not fair to the family, right? So
that's
part of my resolution
is
to be more present. And how do you do that? Well, if I can adjust the diet, if I can cut, you know, 30 or 40 pounds off, start to feel better, and then bring that into getting those wireless earbuds, getting the kids out to the Y, even as the weather gets more frightful.
Right.
And we braved the elements when it was 50 below. I remember going to the Y with my son and thinking, like, well, if the car doesn't start when we get out of here,
shovel
that's okay.
the snow if there's any shovel, right?
Yeah, hey, well, we're not going to go. Maybe we start a shoveling business. That's not a bad idea. A little bit of a side job. But no, I'm just saying, like, I totally get it, and I never am going to be one to discourage people from making that, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 resolutions, because it's better than not trying or making the effort, right? I mean, making that adjustment, and whatever it is for you out there, I just hope you know that you've got support in a place like Hy-Vee and with the Seasons magazine, and of course with Kara and the Kids Club and everything that we've got to offer. And the produce department, like you said, I mean, there's so many right outside where we're doing the show. There's so many great fresh options. Holy moly, they do a good job out there. All right, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. It's the season, right? 'Tis the season.
Stop in.
We're done with holidays for a while. We got New Year's Eve tomorrow. I don't know if there's like a diet champagne out there.
I don't know.
What if there's like
have a little, right?
A low carb champagne, or maybe you can do like a sugar-free orange juice if you're doing a mimosa on New Year's Day. I don't know exactly what the best thing is for you, but everything in moderation, and at least have a conversation with somebody like Kara, because that's what she's here for, amongst other things. I mean, it's really great, and these bands are fantastic.
Oh, those are fun. And you know, I mean, I know they're little, but they're not just for kids. I've worn them before too, and it's a great reminder.
Yeah, what a great Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And yeah, and there's even good info in here from Muscatine Diabetes
Oh,
Project.
yeah,
So
right,
check that
exactly.
out here in the store, and at the very least, pick up the Seasons magazine. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Come into the store and grab it, or we'll stick it in your bag for you. But it's got so many good things in here. I mean, everything just looks great, fresh, and even stuff that I don't really
Mushrooms.
like. I don't really like mushrooms, but look at that. It looks good.
Oh, yeah, I think
know?
mushrooms, yeah.
I like
Good
some
source of-
mushrooms more than others.
Yeah.
But they're not my
Mushrooms
favorite.
are good.
Same
you
thing
can
with
add
Brussels
them.
sprouts. Who needs
Oh,
them?
come on, Tony.
Who
Yeah,
needs
back
Brussels
to the Brussels
sprouts?
sprouts, yeah.
I don't need them. No, no, no. Don't need them. Steve's saying that his resolution is to use a straw
All
for
right.
his champagne or his martini. That's it, huh? Are those olives up there? Are green
Well,
olives
see,
healthy, by
olives
the
are
way?
good, too. Healthy fats.
Olives are healthy fats. I love olives. They're my favorite. Yeah, have a
Way to get
martini. So Steve's suggesting, Steve, not a dietitian, suggesting to incorporate more olives into your
Well,
diet.
have a few
more
more
martinis.
olives, right? Well,
Yes, the drier the better. All right,
Oh,
very
goodness.
good. Thank you very
All
much,
right,
Kara.
well,
I appreciate
thank
it.
you.
All right, I'm going to mention a couple of things, and then we're going to get out of here. Listen, we're doing the show today and tomorrow, and then we'll have a little bit of another break. That being said, the store will be open. I'll be here. But the show will kind of ramp back up into full swing starting next Monday, January 6th. If you're watching and you ever want to be a guest on the Hy-Vee Today show, I'd love to have you here. HyVeeToday@gmail.com is my email address. You can call the store. You never know. I mean, imagine this. You could have been on the show today. We could have been sharing bacon. Oh, my. Bacon on the house, right? Why wouldn't you want to come on the show? I mean, what other talk show are you going to go on where they could just have bacon? This could be our thing. It could just be bacon with Tony. We just eat. And the interview is just us trying to talk through chewing through bacon. Right? It'd be a hit or a miss. I don't know. You decide. Yeah, so I appreciate Kara being here. It was great. I mean, this is the time of year, right? It's all right here. Talking about feeling better and doing things that you can do with your diet or activity levels, whatever the case may be. I hope that you'll at least consider doing that. And one more note from Steve. What does this say? Have tea martinis. Okay. Tea martinis. This is what I'm dealing with. So just because you didn't see this one either, probably. Here's this note, right? Steve's going to... Look at this, like Steve's joke book right here. He's going to get published. Here it is. This is just one day back. He's at 10 days. He's been going stir crazy, I think. 10 days without, I mean, you probably missed the elf, right? You miss Elfie. What are you going to do without him? We're not going to keep him around. He's gone. He went back to the North Pole. Great? You say great. Oh, yeah. The elf at my house, Buddy, as he's known, almost didn't make it back to the North Pole. So that, Steve's saying he went to his, yeah. Oh, he can't avoid these elf on the shelves. All right, well, we won't have to worry about Elfie for a little while here at Muscatine Hy-Vee. He was saddled up, though, for the last couple of days of his stay. He was on his faithful steed there. So, yeah, listen, that was a whole thing. All right, I want to thank Kara for stopping by. Appreciate her time. Thank you all for watching. If you've been with us live on Facebook, Mayor Diana Broderson saying that they have a real tree at her house and she's picking up the needles. Right. So coming back to today being National Bacon Day and also National Falling Needles Family Fest Day. Colleen pointing out that she sees Skippy in the background behind the bar. Skippy Armstrong back there. There he is right there. You've probably seen him back there. I imagine taking inventory. Inventory day. Taking inventory on the booze, everybody. Yes. One on the paper, one for Skip, one on the paper. Make it a double. At first, I thought it was Steve back there because they almost have similar color shirts on. And I was like, what is Steve doing behind the bar? And then I could tell it was Skippy, but I was really concerned for a second. I was like, Steve making a drink? What's he doing over there? I never know what he's doing. All right, so we'll be here tomorrow. And then a couple days off and then back again on January 6th. And we look forward to being here with you. And I just hope that you'll come into the store for all things New Year's Eve and for those New Year's resolutions. If you are trying to make a change, I'm with you. I get it. Going through the same thing, right? Day one, resetting the clock to 0. Hi to Sammy and Motley, who just joined us on the Facebook stream. A lot of good comments in the feed today. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that's out there. So feel free to reach out to me, hyveetoday@gmail.com. Sammy being one of those persons, one of those people we should have back on the show. See what's new with Sammy and Motley May Photography, right? I love the stuff that Sammy does. So feel free to reach out if you ever need anything. Email address is on the screen. You can call the store, 563-264-2420. You can ask for me or find me, or you can find the store on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are out there. TikTok, I wanna say that I get TikTok. I kind of get it. It's ridiculous in the same breath, and I know that makes me sound like an old codger. This TikTok is just kids doing the dancing with songs underneath it. I mean, I understand. The store has a TikTok. We have one post on the TikTok, and I don't even know if I can play the post because it has a song that's probably copyrighted, and I don't want to get zapped. But it, if you don't know what TikTok is, don't download it because you won't gain anything from it. There's already too many social media options, right? Between Snapchat and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and holy moly. Steve, you have a TikTok? He has a TikTok. He does not have a TikTok, which is almost the same thing. All right, there's TikTok right there. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but it's a thing. Big thing. All the kids are there. If you feel like you can't find your kids or grandkids on Facebook, they're probably on the Tik and the Talk, doing the dances, doing the weird dance moves. I don't even know what to tell you. Just a Tik and a little Talk. So that's a whole thing. All right. Thank you to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Team Staffing for their support. We'll be here tomorrow live at 8:30 a.m. Hey, Carmen, how you doing? Carmen says hi. Hello, Carmen. Good to see you. People are watching on cable like, was he looking at his phone during the show? No, I've got the show playing so I can watch the comments. Hi, Carmen. Hope you're doing well. And I do hope, again, that you had a great Christmas and that you got through it. And if it was stressful, I'm with you. I get it. It's a great time of year, but also, holy moly, most of my house has been sick, so we just kind of were laying low and ready for that to get over with. Great video from my house of Ted. Did you have audio on that, Chad? If you do, I'll let you replay that because that is Ted, my 5-year-old, letting the dog out the other day. Listen to this. So what you don't know is that I'm standing on the sidewalk talking to my neighbors who I also work with here at the store, Jim and Lorna Haskin, and Ted lets the dog out. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then he goes to the doorbell because he loves that Ring doorbell. This kid is crazy. I don't know. Do me a favor, Chad, go to the comments if we're going to talk about Ted for a second. On that same post, I believe people were saying like, oh my gosh, you need to have a reality TV show, which I don't know. I mean, I'll sell out my kids in a second to make some money. But I posted a comment from later, I think it was later Friday night. My wife and I got out for a second, and Ted so first of all, he stole a St. Anthony statue from my mom's house. He just takes this out of his pocket. He's 5, and he's like, I took this from Grandma's. And I was like, you took her St. Anthony statue? My mom's like, that was near the sink in her bathroom, because he was hanging out with my mom for a little bit. And my one cousin saying at least he's religious. I didn't even see that comment. My poor mom. I don't know if you click on view more comments. Did I post? There was another doorbell camera video of him fleeing the house and trying to get in the car as we were leaving the other night. Like, he's going through this thing, Ted, where he doesn't want to be, he doesn't want to be left alone. I'm going to see if I have this, and I'll airdrop it really quick because it is pretty good. But he's got this whole thing. Maybe I didn't save it, where he just does not. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me airdrop this to you. So in between kids being sick, my wife and I did get to kind of sneak out for a little bit on Friday when the Hawkeyes, by the way, Hawkeye Bowl game. How about that? So this is from the doorbell. So I'm in the passenger seat. Here comes my wife. And then in just a moment, you're going to see this 5-year-old. My mom's at my house hanging out with the kids. Here comes Ted. Oh, no, they're not. Watch this kid. Look at him. Look at him. There he goes. And he gets in the car. And I'm like, get out of here, dude. We're not doing this. Listen, that is the coolest technology ever, by the way. The Ring doorbell. It's great. One more. Okay. Steve says, for the new year, Steve says, remember, if you get the urge, go right ahead. That's right. Go right ahead. Don't go left. Go right ahead. All right, we'll leave you with that. And stay tuned, because you never know what a kid might do at my house that I'll capture on my Ring doorbell. I'm very super self-aware with having that doorbell as I'm taking the dog out. If I ever yell at the dog, not that I do, but sometimes I do. It's captured on the Ring doorbell. So anyway, stay tuned for that and more. We'll see you tomorrow on the Hy-Vee Today Show. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye. Oh, good.
And around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.